The Southlake Carroll Dragons took a 5-0 record into their road district matchup at Keller. Junior running back Davis Penn, he had an increased workload after Dragons senior running back Riley Wormley went down with a season-ending injury last week. And, well, he performed with the increased workload in this one, 138 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. The Dragons erupted for 28 points in the third quarter in a big District 4 6A matchup at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. Penn notched his first 100-yard game in this one of the season as well after rushing for 30 touchdowns a season ago in nearly 1,600 yards. The Dragons knew what he was capable of on the ground, but the USC pledge in Wormley, after scoring 3 touchdowns a week ago, he went down with injury, had 11 touchdowns through 5 games, and was the team's second leading receiver as well. So a big loss for the Dragons, but they still had a big offensive output in this one. They took control early. Keller started with the ball. They faced the 3rd and long, and the Dragons brought the heat.
Tight formation here as they come out on 3rd down. Robinson the pass, pressured, and sacked, brought down in the backfield. It was Zach Hayes getting there first for the Dragons.
The Dragons took the lead with a 25-yard field goal from Gavin Strange in the opening offensive series.
One out of the hold of Zach Hayes. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So Strange now 3 of 3 on field goals this season.
On the next series, Taven Coons comes up with an interception.
Number 5, Quentin Shropshire into the game at running back as this one tipped up into the air and intercepted by the Dragons. There is a flag down on the far side of the field, but coming up with it for Carroll was Taven Coons.
And the Dragons are able to capitalize on the turnover. They faced a 4th and 8, but quarterback Angelo Renda kept the drive going with an 8-yard run to get the first down by just inches. And then Penn got the ball toward the goal line.
Give it to Penn. His way into the end zone for the touchdown. Davis Penn gets into the end zone for the 5th time this year on the ground and puts Carroll in front 9-0.
And that made it 10-0. The Dragons forced a punt, and then the Baylor commit, Penn, he pushed the Dragons' lead to 17-0 with just a minute left in the first quarter on a 14-yard rushing touchdown.
Davis Penn powered through the first level, and once he got through, there was nobody there to slow him down.
Keller responded. It was an impressive 11-play, 75-yard drive, highlighted by a 31-yard run from Quentin Shropshire, and that got them down to the 5-yard line, and then a 1-yard run by him to finish off the drive. That made it a 10-point game, but the Dragons, they had an answer right back, and that was the name of the game in this one. For every punch that Keller threw, the Dragons had a quick strike back, and it was the quick strike to the TCU commit Brock Boyd on the first snap of the series.
A 56-yard pitch and catch from Renda to Boyd, and just like that, the Dragons answer. It's 23-7.
After that big home run touchdown, Keller started their next possession on their own 1-yard line after great kick coverage from the Dragons.
Chris, and the old adage, you live by the blitz, you can die by the blitz, and that was one of those moments.
They're going to bring this one out of the back of the end zone, and a huge hit end-over-end ball comes out. Is it live? They said it was, and Keller recovers it at its own 1-yard line.
Keller punted, and then Carroll was turned over on downs. Right before the half, the Indians were forced to punt again after getting the ball back, but this time, fortune turned their way.
Just under a minute to go here in the quarter. End over end takes a strong Keller bounce. Jacomar touches it, lost it, and who has it? Keller thinks they do, and the officials say they do. Coming up with it for the Indians is Jace Frankie.
Great field position gave Keller new life as quarterback Beckham Robinson tosses a 7-yard touchdown to Brock Meek with 20 seconds left before halftime to cut the deficit to 10 at the intermission. However, in the second half, the Dragons were on fire to start. They just needed 5 plays to go 81 yards. Renda hooks up with Boyd again on a 23-yard touchdown strike.
As a man, it is caught for the touchdown. Boyd is, for the second time tonight, finds the end zone, and Carroll scores on its opening possession of the second half.
The Dragons defense came to play as well in the second half. They forced punts on Keller's next 2 series, and then Davis Penn with the ball in his hands. It's a 61-yard touchdown on another 1-play drive.
They hand it to Penn. Big hole up the middle across midfield. There's no safety deep. 1 man to beat. Foot race with Shropshire. He dives at the last moment. Can't touch him. And Davis Penn to the house.
Penn then capped the Dragons' next scoring drive as well. On a 78-yard drive, he finishes it off with a 13-yard scoring run.
Give it to Penn. Big hole up the middle. He's into the end zone for the 4th time tonight. Davis Penn taking this Dragons backfield on his back.
Then Southlake's defense comes up big again. They force a 3-and-out on the next Keller possession. Throwing the football was a difficult thing for Keller to do all night long. They swarmed to the football on the run here to force 4th down. And then a bad punt snap gives the Dragons great field position.
He loses it again, and Keller is able to recover it, but it's 4th down and Dragon ball.
Then got the ball at the Indian 16, and Renda connected with Brody Knowles on the first play to make it 52-14.
Renda to throw. 1 play going up to the end zone for Knowles. This one is caught for the touchdown. And the route is on in Keller.
That was their 4th unanswered touchdown to start the second half. Keller backup quarterback Brock Burkett raced for a 32-yard score on 4th and 2 early in the 4th quarter, and that rounded out the scoring.
30 gets the first down inside the 20. He could get into.
Renda finished 16 of 21, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, another great performance for him. His top target in Boyd, he had 6 catches, 148 yards, following up his 200-plus receiving yard day from the prior week. And the Carroll defense was huge in this one. Didn't allow a completion in the second half of action and did it without their top tackler playing as well. Now, Keller did have 276 yards on the ground, Burkett with 112 of them on 10 carries, but it's Southlake Carroll who moves to 6-0. They host Hazlitt Eaton Thursday night at Dragon Stadium in district action. And you can watch on the Dragon Sports Network. Keller falls to 3-2, and they'll travel to Trophy Club Byron Nelson in a big district matchup coming up on Friday night.